Welcome back to Wheel Reverend. When the 2025 Honda CB1000 Hornet SP, you first swing a leg over the Hornet SP, the bike's proportions immediately feel natural. The seat height at just under 32 inches strikes that sweet spot where shorter riders don't feel intimidated, yet taller riders don't feel cramped. The wide, tapered handlebars provide leverage that makes slow-speed maneuvers almost effortless, and the sculpted tank narrows at the waist, giving your knees a comfortable place to grip. Unlike some hyper-nakeds that can feel a little punishing in city traffic, the Hornet's ergonomics are carefully balanced between aggressive and everyday friendly. Honda clearly wanted to make this machine more than just a Sunday canyon toy. Fire it up in the morning and the exhaust note has a subdued thrum at idle, but give it a handful of revs and the character comes alive. Honda tuned the intake and exhaust to offer a visceral growl in the mid-range, and above 7,000 RPM the howl builds into a scream that harkens back to the CBR lineage. It's a bike that makes you want to play with the throttle just to hear the soundtrack. On longer highway stretches, cruising in 6th gear at moderate speeds, the engine is surprisingly smooth. Honda's counterbalancing keeps vibration at bay, so you won't feel tingling through the bars or pegs even after an hour or more of steady riding. That refinement is something not all competitors in this class can claim. On a twisty road, the Hornet SP really demonstrates its dual character. If you want to ride calmly, the engine is docile, the throttle mapping in standard mode is forgiving, and the suspension absorbs bumps without trauma. But flick into sport mode, sharpen up the throttle, and suddenly you have a liter class naked that feels alive and eager. The Showa fork delivers excellent front-end feedback, letting you know exactly how much grip you've got, while the Allen's shock outback keeps the rear tire planted even under hard acceleration out of corners. The balance between stability and agility is perhaps the Hornet's strongest trait. It feels planted at high speeds, but when you want to change direction quickly, the chassis responds without hesitation. Braking performance deserves another word. Brembo-style EMA calipers are a mark of serious intent. The initial bite is sharp, which experienced riders will appreciate, but Honda has tuned the master cylinder and ABS system to give enough progression that newer riders won't find it overwhelming. In panic stops, the Hornet SP pulls down from highway speeds with authority and remains composed. Compared to rivals like the Yamaha Mount 10 or Kawasaki Z1000, the Hornet's braking feel is every bit as confidence-inspiring, with a little more refinement at the lever. Electronics, as mentioned earlier, are not overcomplicated, and that's part of the Hornet's charm. This is not a gadget-laden superbike that requires a manual to navigate. Instead, it's intuitive. Traction control intervention is smooth, not jerky, and you can fully disable it if you want raw, unfiltered fun. The quick shifter is one of the best in class, especially in aggressive riding where clutchless upshifts feel like slicing through gears with zero lag. Downshifts with the auto blipper are equally satisfying, matching revs seamlessly. Where the Hornet SP stands apart is in the balance between everyday usability and genuine excitement. A Ducati Streetfighter V2, for example, is thrilling but has a more demanding riding position. The Yamaha Mount 10 offers monster torque but weighs more and can feel bulky in urban traffic. The Kawasaki Z1000 remains aggressive and styling but lacks the modern electronics suite that Honda offers. The Hornet SP manages to blend the most useful elements of each: responsive but refined power delivery, premium chassis hardware, and a package that's easy to live with. Honda has also thought about practicality. The underseat USB-C charger means you can keep a phone or GPS unit powered during long trips. The TFT display's navigation integration through Honda RoadSync isn't just a gimmick, it's functional, with clear turn-by-turn directions when paired to your phone. Commuters will also appreciate details like the self-canceling indicators, bright LED lighting for visibility, and mirrors that actually give a decent view past your elbows, is something often overlooked on sport-oriented machines. Fuel economy on a bike of this caliber is never going to rival small-displacement commuters, but Honda's efficient inline-four still returns respectable numbers. In mixed riding, you can expect somewhere in the mid-40s mpg, which gives a real-world range of around 180 miles on a tank. For weekend warriors this is more than enough, and for daily riders it's manageable without frequent stops. On longer rides, comfort is a pleasant surprise. The seat, though firm, is broad enough to distribute weight well, and the natural bar and peg placement avoids extreme wrist or knee angles. At freeway speeds you do get wind blast. This is a naked bike after all, but the small front cowl does deflect a little air, enough to take the sting out of extended highway travel. Riders wanting more touring capability can fit optional accessories like a taller screen or soft luggage, and Honda has already lined up a catalog of add-ons. Owning a Honda has always meant peace of mind in terms of reliability, and the CB1000 Hornet SP is no exception. The service intervals are generous, and the engine is based on a proven platform with years of development behind it. This isn't a finicky, high-maintenance machine. It's elite-class street fighter you can actually rely on day after day, and that's part of its unique selling point compared to some European rivals that demand more intensive upkeep. Price remains a headline here. At just under $11,000 in the US market, it seriously undercuts bikes offering comparable performance and equipment. A Ducati Monster SP, for instance, can easily cost several thousand more. Even Japanese rivals often hover around the $12,000 to $13,000 mark with fewer premium parts. That makes the Hornet SP not only a rider's machine but also a strong value proposition. Honda is clearly aiming to lure riders who want the thrill of premium components without the premium price tag. The styling is something that will divide opinion, as with most naked bikes, but in person it has real presence. The matte black bodywork with gold accents feels classy and aggressive. From the insect-inspired front end with its sharp LED eyes to the stubby, minimal tail, the Hornet has a distinctive silhouette. It looks purposeful standing still and even better in motion, where the flowing lines emphasize its muscular stance. Park it next to its smaller CB750 Hornet sibling, and the family resemblance is obvious, but the SP has a maturity and polish that sets it apart. For riders upgrading from a middleweight, the Hornet SP represents a natural next step. It's approachable, not intimidating, yet it offers a leap in performance that makes every ride feel new. For veterans of liter-class sport bikes who want something less punishing for the street, the Hornet SP delivers most of the thrills without the ergonomic torture. And for anyone simply looking for a stylish, premium naked that doesn't break the bank, this machine ticks nearly every box. Ultimately, the 2025 Honda CB1000 Hornet SP embodies Honda's philosophy: precision engineering, thoughtful balance, and rider-focused design. It's a motorcycle that doesn't shout the loudest spec sheet numbers, but once you ride it, you realize it doesn't need to. The experience speaks for itself. Whether you're carving canyons, commuting daily, or simply admiring it in your garage, the Hornet SP gives you a sense of ownership pride that goes beyond raw performance. And when you look at the market as a whole, that's what makes it special. This isn't just another naked liter bike, it's Honda's modern interpretation of how to deliver excitement in a package that remains accessible, reliable, and stylish. That, in the end, is what gives the Hornet SP its sting.